Hey y'all, from Spindle Mountain Mercantile. I am Heather. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is for two kinds of people, those who want clever artwork for their own homes and vendors looking for affordable, smart, and unique items to sell in their booths that no one else in their mall has. Let's get started. My sweet husband is doing all the work today because I'm still recovering from rotator cuff surgery. Isn't it great to have a team? Hey, here's another member of our team. That's Rufus, our naked dog. He's a Chinese crested rescue, and he is the most preciousest boy. He's leaving the frame around the glass while he cleans it to keep it stabilized, and he's putting the tape under it so that it won't come out of the frame because he's already removed all of the brackets. We love this Sprayway glass cleaner. We buy it in bulk from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. And anytime you use one of my links to make a purchase from Amazon, they will give us a small compensation, but your price won't change at all. We like to use these paper towels that tear into 4 separate sheets. They're a lot smaller and we have a lot less waste. The pictures we buy are in odd sizing. They're not from America, so they use some different formula. Isn't that cute? I named this one My Little Pony. We have so much fun naming these quirky pictures. We like to use discarded frames that have mats. That way we can cut down the odd sized pictures so that they have a better fit. So my sweet husband messed around a little bit with the My Little Pony picture and got it squared inside the mats, but we decided that one of the mats needed to come out so we could get a better fit. Okay, now that is perfection. Once he gets the placement just right, he puts a bigger piece of tape on the pictures. This is the best tape ever, y'all. We use this on so many different things, but it makes the backs of our pictures just look beautiful. I will add a link for those as well. He's making sure there's no debris in the frame, and he's using a knife to get a little bit of stuff out of the corners. Always check the corners because these old frames, there's always stuff. And then he just gives it a once over without spraying it to make sure there's no smears or anything. Now to put the back on, which we just used the backing that was in the picture, the original picture, we took these out. I don't know if we took them out of this frame or another one, and this is what we've always done. We've used little nails or we've used the little brackets that we took out of other frames, and this is the very best way we found to put them back in. Now you should put maybe a little piece of fabric between that outside part of the pliers because it can make a little indentation. But one thing we have learned is, you guys, we sell so many of these pictures. They just took off. So we decided it was time that we bought an actual tool. And here is what we bought. We bought this on Amazon and it's amazing. I will add a link for this as well. And we have a different picture. We bought this later after we finished this project. So I'm just going to show you on this picture. It came with this little fruit scene and I thought, you know, somebody might like that. So I used it to attach this squirrel on the other side. The squirrel will probably sell better for us than the fruit, but if they ever want to change it, they can. They can have a vintage pile of fruit. So he is just going to put 2 of the little brackets in to show you how easy it works. Here's a little close-up of the stapler. You just put it down against the back of your picture and up against the wood and ta-da! It works so good and it's easy. You don't, you know, some staplers you have to push so hard. Not with this one. It goes right in. You have to make sure it's firm and in place, but boom. And even with just those 2 brackets, look how he taps the squirrel to show you. See? It's already secure, but we would put 2 on each side and 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. He just cut a piece of foam board from Dollar Tree, that poster board that has the foam in it, and he cut it down to size. That's what he'll use over the back. Now, some people will use the brackets over this. We have found that when we do that, the picture sometimes isn't pressed enough. I don't know if that makes sense. It will get a little wrinkly. And this piece of tape he's putting right here, we have no idea why he did this. We can't remember. And I already erased the audio from the video I took when we were framing the pictures. So there you go. All right, he took the little screws out with the wire and now he's measuring to remember where the screws were, because when we cover this up with paper, you won't be able to see it. We found this medium weight contractor's paper at Lowe's, but it's also available at Amazon, and I will leave a link for that in the description. He's just making some marks where he's going to make the 2 cuts, and then he uses a carpenter's square, you know, to make sure it's square. And he just is making a mark on the paper that he will then cut with scissors. If you have a surface you don't care if you mess up, you can cut all the way through with the razor blade. We just were doing this on our dining room table, so we wanted to keep it somewhat nice. He cuts the paper so it fits just inside the frame. That way it has enough area to put the tape on. We wanted you to see how ginormous these scissors are. We got them in a desk that had a bunch of tools from an old cotton mill. They're huge, like Sputnik, quite pointy in parts. If you know what movie that's from, leave a comment. He's just adding a few pieces of tape to keep the backing in position when he puts the big pieces on. You don't want this to get wrinkly. It just doesn't look as neat. Ask me how I know. He starts by putting 1 piece of tape all the way across the bottom, and then he does the same thing at the top. We have found that this way it doesn't get cattywampus. Well, I guess we've found all kinds of things along the way that help it not be cattywampus. He just continues and does the same thing on the sides. See how handy it was to measure where those holes are for the screws? Yeah, we learned that lesson along the way as well. we use all different kinds of hangers just depending on what the picture is, but my favorite is to reuse the original wire that came with the frames. I will leave a link for some other types and for some new wires in the description. Isn't that cute? I was so excited to get it into the shop that I forgot to take some great pictures, so my sweet husband went back over there and took these so we could show you what it looked like when it was finished. You have to excuse the reflection of the ceiling, but you can get a good idea. I was sad when I saw the damage to this cross stitch because old cross stitch sells pretty well for me. In fact, the day I'm making the voiceover for this video, I sold one. But we think this has some mold on it. We're going to see if we can get it cleaned up with bleach, but for now, we're going to reuse the frame. My sweet husband likes to use Murphy's cleaning soap on wood. There is some he did not treat, I guess clean. And here is some that he did clean. So now he's going to spray the whole thing and wipe it with a towel, make it look like new. This time he just laid the glass on top of the frame to keep it off of the table while he cleans it. And it had some, you know, from that mold, it just felt real gunky, so he's rubbing it in pretty good with his hand before he wipes it down. And he's going to wipe it down twice with spray each time. I'm going to go ahead and let you just watch most of this one. He did it quite the same as the first one, except for the little brackets, and I will catch up with you when we get to that part. Because we only used one backer board on this picture, it is level with the back of the wood. So he is not going to use any of the brackets. Instead, he's only going to use the tape. And right here, he wants to show you just how strong this tape is. He took sour cream out of a tub and put it in this squeeze bottle and taped it up with the tape. And sure enough, it stuck. We've been using it for a week. I hear a lot of talk about being your authentic self and being real. Well, y'all who are my regular subscribers know I'm pretty good at that, because I'm always telling you how I lost some footage, and this time I lost the footage that shows how we finished this last frame. But you know what? It's okay, because most people don't even stick around until the end of the video, so it'll just be our little secret between us, okay? For those of you who are vendors or have a booth, I cannot encourage you enough to start doing some of these quirky pictures to sell. Since I started doing these, I have been selling consistently about 2 to 5 a week. A few days ago, I sold 4 in one day. My prices range from $9 up to the highest was $38 for the peacock picture. He has a spectacular frame, and that picture is pretty big. I want to thank you guys for watching this video today, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. Until the next time I see you, well, I guess until you see me, I hope you are blessed. Bye.